Hello guys, this is Rotanks from Local TCG. Today I'll be bringing you guys a Neonectar deck profile for Standard using the new VEB 10 support, which we got just this weekend. So Neonectar, they're a plant-based themed deck. They are of the Force variety. You have two Force. You have Force 1, which when acquired, you put it on Vanguard Rigger, and the unit on top of it gets 10,000 power. You can put, for example, two of it on the same circle, and the unit on top will get 20,000 power instead of 10,000. And then you have its counterpart, Force 2. What Force 2 does is, same thing as Force 1, you put it on Vanguard Rearguard, but the unit on top of it gets its critical raised from 1 to 2. It does not increase by 1, so you can't stack 2 Force 2, for example, and then have the unit on top of it have 3 crit. It will stay on 2 crit because it is changing the base to 2, not increasing by 1. But Neonectar, in V series, when they got the first standard wave of support, they got a new gimmick with it. Instead of the usual List Clone, which they had in G, they instead got Plant Tokens. What Plant Tokens do is, it's a grade 0 with the boost ability and has 5,000 power. You can only call this through abilities, but you normally will acquire it for like a soul, a counterblast, all for free. So it's free resources, a free rear guard, and what you usually do is just retire it with abilities to make power. But with the new wave of support in VEB 10, when Arbor is dropped, we also got 10,000 cave tokens. These tokens, unlike the 5k counterpart, have 10,000 shield, 10,000 shield, 10,000 power, and a boost and interceptability. So they're just overall better, but you can only call these through more specific abilities. So now that we got the main things out of the way for Neonectar, we'll hop into the actual deck profile. So to begin, grade zeros. You have Arborist Dragon Ratoon. He is your starter. You need Arborist and Soul for a card or two, so you want to have the starter as a guaranteed 1 Soul already. And he's also better than Kira and is on ride, you draw a card, just like Kira. Next we have 4 8 crit. You run 8 crit because you want to flip crit and win. And also, like, you can get undeserving wins off this. Next, 4 Maiden of Blossom Rain. She's the draw PG, so just you need the plus in this deck. Draws are always a 3+ really, and in defensive they're super good. Offensive they're also good because it gets you the PG in hand, and you don't really plus as much in this deck as you would in VEB 03 in the first wave of Neonectar support anymore, which is why you kind of want to run these now. And then 4 heal. Do I need to explain why you run 4 heals? You just need to fucking heal, so you run it at 4. Next we have the Grade Freaks. We'll start with the big daddy of the deck now. 4 Arborist Dragon, Sephiroth. What Sephiroth does is, continuous ability, the plant token you call, instead of being the pussy ass 5k, get that shit out of here. You now make 10k tokens whenever you are to call a token while he is on Vanguard. And then his second skill is, if on Vanguard or Rearguard, you can retire a unit to create 2 more tokens. So, the play is, first ride unit, so you have like what, 5k there, optimally a 10k, and like this dude. And in Soul you would have this dude. This just be super brief, but like, alright, this is my field. So what do? You also have your Force 2, normally underneath Vanguard when you ride Arborist first, because this can be hitting for like 33, because Arborist skill, retire. Create 2. You don't really care for this guy's skill so early in the game, so Arborist skill, retire. grade 2. Plus 10k. So now you have 20k and you still have a 10k shield instead of now 5k shield. And these are both 33k columns. This one, however, has force 2, so it gets an extra crit. Also, that spoilers for what cards are in this deck, but who cares, since that's such an obvious card that will be in this. So, for Arborous. Next, you have Free Cecilia. What Cecilia does is CB1, you retire a rearguard, check top 5, call up to 2 units from the top 5. But then, if you have a grade 3 in Soul, you call 3 instead of 10, and 3 instead of 2, and your entire front row gets 10,000 power. So, the play is with this, you use it as your second ride, so you have 2 force. Doesn't matter what you call really, and you just go like, alright, so check top, call. So then you go plus 10k. This is probably going to be 28 because you probably have 5k token or 10k tokens, so 28, 23, same 38, 20, 28 or 33. Same thing here, 28 or 33. You have your triggers, and you just sack and win. And this one doesn't really matter. You probably hit a rearguard unless you can hit lethal. So that's the second grade 3 you run, Free Cecilia. Then the last card you run, Exploding Tomato. He's a disappointment. This grade 3 slot you can use anything. You can use Fruit Dragon, or you can use the rearguard, which you retire it and you make 3 tokens. But this, in my opinion, was the best one for me at the time, since at the time making this, since I didn't want to buy it either, and it's just like, he's probably arguably better than retire one, make 3 tokens. That has some spice, but at least this is a Vanguard skill, which in worst case scenario you can use, but I never use it. I just discard him if I have to draw into him, and have no other grade 3. But, so what he does is, he retire 2 tokens on Vanguard or Rearguard, and he gets 10,000 power and you draw a card. And at the end of battle he attacks, if he's on Rearguard, you can kill him to make 2 more tokens. So he's regurgitating the 2 tokens he used as cost. He isn't bad, but I'll probably run the Fruit Dragon over him eventually, once I get him. Because in my opinion the Fruit Dragon is a much better boy. Just, you don't want to ride the Fruit Dragon or else you're going to have bad times. Next, we have the grade 2s. We have, starting off for the grade 2s, 4. Arborous Dragon Timber. Timber, what he does is, on place on Vanguard, whenever you recall a plan token next, it becomes this boy, a 10k token instead. But for if you're ever going to like use him and you're going to call 2, like you use his Vanguard ability and you're about to call 2 tokens, you only call the first one as 10k, the other one is still a 5k token. That's how the ruling works, since he doesn't say the next time you call. Wait, is it next time you call? It's when you place the next plant token. It's not the next time you would call plant tokens. Otherwise you could do that, but sadly we cannot. They balanced it. And then his second skill is just on place, on rearguard you call plant token. So he's a second Sylvia on rearguard or a 10k token maker on Vanguard. But it is a once per turn token make. Next we have 4. Pansy Musketeer, Sylvia. What she does is, on place to either Vanguard or rearguard, make a token. Very simple, very effective. The next we have 3. Gate of Arborous, Oliver. What he does is, if your soul has 2 or more cards with Arborous in the card name, you can CB 1 and you either call 2 tokens or you retire 2 to get 20k 1 crit. The play which I found carrying me most of the day was calling him while having Cecilia active, yeah. So you still have the grade 3 in soul, and you just have your 2 Force 2. You put them on the one which does not have Force 2. Then you use his skill, like you use Sylvia's skill, call 2 or whatever. Use his skill, retire something, 40k, 2 crit, 23k, 2 crit, 23k, 2 crit, and like these will probably become 33 or 28k, 2 crit. Very good numbers, and it just applies a lot of pressure to the opponent because everything now hits lethal. You start to damage deny earlier, which is always nice. And next, 2 Spirital Tree Sage and Roselle. What he does is, he's just there because he's a decent plus engine, because he will draw you an extra card which you might need instead of this 5k shield in hand. Because what he does is, on place, if you have a 2 Great Zero Rearguard, CB1, draw a card, and both units in that column get 5,000 power. So, you know, say you're lacking in a rearguard, like in a token. You're lacking in a rearguard token. Just call that, skill activate, CB1, draw 1, easy plus. But yeah, that's what you do with this boy. He's just there to plus. Next we have Grey Runs. Let me just get these organized. You have 4 Arborist Dragon Branch. What Branch does is Vanguard Rearguard when an attack's hit or a boost, or the attacker boosted hits. Check top 4. Add an Arborist. Well, you may check top 4, and if you do, you add an Arborist to hand. Then the rest of those you put back to the bottom of the deck in any order you want. So if you activate this guy's skill a lot, and you're going to be sending a fair bit of triggers down if you activate his skill a lot. So you have Cecilia to then deck fin a further 2 cards from deck, and then reshuffle all those triggers that you just emptied back into the deck. Makes for fun shit. Or you can just use him and go like, or like if you go Force 1, you could just use him to have columns have more pressure. So like on hit, I get to add a card to my hand. Essentially, because you have 16 cards with Arborist in your name in the main deck after your starter. So like you're gonna be having a fair bit of Arborist that you can hit and add to your hand. Next, we have 3 Fruit Basket Elf. I almost said dragon. Fruit Basket Elf. What they do is Soul Blast 1, retire it on Rearguard. You call up to 2 plant tokens, and if your Vanguard's grade 3 or higher, they get 5k. So this boy becomes a 10k. This boy becomes a 15k. They become bigger columns, and you make 2 of them. If you have Arborist, 30k column, man. Busted. Then next, we have 3 Maiden of Happy Phone. She is just a Rearguard Sylvia. You place her on Rearguard, make a token. That simple. She's effective just like Sylvia, because you call, you make shit. And your grade 1 right really doesn't matter in this deck. You just want to see him, because he has an on hit if you need to attack, and he also contributes to Oliver's skill. Then next, we have 2 Grain Sprout Maiden and Neva, or as I call her, Genderbent Craig. What she does is, on Guardian Circle or Rearguard, your plant tokens in the same column as this unit, or on Rearguard, gain resist essentially, since they cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. And then, they get 5,000 power and 5,000 shield. So you know, casual, Arbor is active, 23k. Then the next turn, if they want to retire it, they have to go like Berserk Dragon, kill that, and then they have to hit that, or you just intercept with it anyway, and you still get shield out of it. But if they don't, that's a 15k shield, which is super good. But yeah, that was all for today's Neonectar deck profile for Standard. Make sure you subscribe to Loop Fuel TCG.